Hello everyone, my name is Grish and I have a special video for you all today. This one's all about railroads, and even if you think you know everything there is to know about them already, you may want to stick around because they have some nearly hidden features that the game does not make obvious. Let's start by figuring out how to build them. If you're already familiar with how to build railroads, this is a good time to skip ahead to the juicier details. Railroads, unlike roads, are not built automatically by trader units. Instead, they are built by military engineers, which in turn are built in cities that have encampments with armories. A lot of people don't like building encampments, and honestly, I'm generally one of them because they're not that great if you're not planning to attack someone or win a domination victory. However, because the armory is a stage 2 encampment building, it's important that you get at least one armory up before researching steam power, and because it's a stage 2 building, you're gonna want to build that encampment relatively before that to get the barracks up even sooner. That way you just get all your timings right, so you can get that military engineer working right when steam power comes out, which is the tech you need for railroads. So, building one encampment early on is a pretty good idea. For large empires, you might even want 2 or 3 encampments with armories just to make sure you can spam out those military engineers as soon as you possibly can so you can get those railroads out working for you, getting value as quickly as possible. Railroads are not something you can go without in a Civ game, which is what I'm about to cover, so make sure you get that armory. Once you have your military engineer, you can start building railroads. You can build them anywhere, even in tiles without roads, in neutral territory, and in the territory of civs you have open borders with. So you can build right into someone else's territory, which I will cover in a little bit why you might want to actually do that. Railroads do not use one of the military engineer's 2 charges, so don't worry about having to build dozens of military engineers just to get your railroads up and running, which, as good as railroads are, would probably not be worth the production. Although railroads don't use a charge, they cost 1 coal and 1 iron to produce. Here's a little known fact, that 1 coal will actually add to your global pollution. So even if you don't have any power plants, any powered units, you can still pollute with railroads. So if you look at the weather chart and you're like, what's going on here? I have pollution, but I'm trying to do so well. And Kupe is getting mad at you. That's right, Kupe. We know you like getting mad at people. That might be because you have built railroads. He also gets mad at you for chopping down trees and harvesting wheat, though. So who knows why this guy gets mad at you sometimes. He's a bit of a jerk. So, you've built some military engineers, they've constructed some railroads, and you've pissed off Kupe. But what do those railroads actually do? They do 2 things. The first is that they increase move speed of units. But the second, and this is not well known, is that they actually make trade routes yield more gold. The movement speed is exactly 0.25 per movement. That means that for every 1 movement your unit would spend to move into a tile, it now uses 0.25 movement instead. Like a road, the railroad ignores all terrain tile movement costs. That means that every single tile, no matter what the tile is, as long as there's a railroad in it, the unit can move 4 railroad tiles, whereas before it would have been able to move 1 tile. So the railroad quadruples speed and makes it so they ignore terrain tile movement costs. So the speed increase is insane. Tanks plus railroad equals mad speed. Oh. He's moving so fast his unit can't keep up. Alright, now for the more secret railroad boost, which is that they make trade routes more potent. Okay, let's look on the Civ Wiki real fast to make sure we know exactly how much more potent that's going to be. But looks like the Civ Wiki doesn't say exactly how much this boost is, so let's figure it out together. Let's get some military engineers together and figure this out systematically. Alright, so to test this out, I'm going to use the trade route between Malinalco and Buenos Aires. The reason I've chosen this trade route is because it's really simple, just 3 tiles. The trade route's going to go right along those 3 tiles and in Buenos Aires. So I want to just see exactly how much building railroads on each of these tiles increases the gold yield of the trade route. Let's figure this out. So, let's find Buenos Aires on here. So right now it's making us 7 gold per turn. 3 from districts, 4 from other bonuses. Those other bonuses could be a variety of things. Let's not worry about that for now. Doesn't matter. There's nothing to do with our experiment here. So let's figure out how much building a single railroad along the trade route increases us by. And oh, and by the way, it's really important to note, if you were to, let's say we have this trade route here, and I were to build a railroad that goes along this path here, this exact path that my mouse is tracing right here, that would actually only increase the trade value to Buenos Aires from Teotihuacan for just this one tile, because it's the only tile that the trade route passes through. So you really want to make sure to build those railroads along the trade routes. Can be a little annoying sometimes, but that's really important. So that's why I chose this city, is because there is only one path that we can use here, just along these mountains. Nice and simple. Alright, so let's figure this out. So we have currently 7 gold from Malinalco to Buenos Aires. So let's build 1 railroad. So already it's increased, not by a huge amount, but by 1.195 gold. So what exactly is that percentage? Let me do a quick check here. So we've got 7, 1.195. Huh, that's a bit of a weird percentage. 17. It's kind of weird, but let's see what another one does. Now we're at 9.4 gold. So it looks like the bonus is exactly 1.195 gold per railroad. So I wonder if that's a percentage of the base, or if that's just a static addition. We're going to figure this out. Let's build 1 more. Now we're at 10 gold. So obviously the game rounds it. Alright, so this one wasn't quite as much, because we would be at around 3.5 extra gold if it was the 1.195 as usual. So this one was only 3. So it looks like it's a kind of a weird rounding bonus here. I kind of want to try this out with another city. But so we've seen exactly how much these increase by, and let's figure out if this is a percentage or not. Alright guys, so example number 2 is going to be between Teotihuacan and Kabul. So we've got this nice 4-tile trade route right here. Once again, nice and clean, but it is 1 tile further than the one we were doing before in between Malinalco and Buenos Aires. So if there is a different modifier in that it's like some sort of percentage, we should be able to figure that out. So we've got Kabul right here, 7 gold. Let's figure this out. Building 1 railroad, and that was increased by 0.996 now. So what we see here is that this is about 0.2 less than the railroad to Buenos Aires. Let's see what another one does. Kabul. So now it's increased to 1.992, so that was increased by a little bit more than last time. It's now at about 2 gold extra. 1 more. That's increased to 3 again, that magic number, and that's increasing even more now every time. So the first time was an increase of about 0.9 gold. The second one was an increase of about 1 gold. And now the third railroad tile is an increase of about 1.2 gold. Now let's try the fourth, and that didn't do anything. So it looks like it maxes out at 3 extra gold. Actually makes me want to experiment some more with it, but that's enough for now. So it looks like this maxes out at 3 gold, or maybe it has something to do with maybe because it's an overland trade route only. It looks like it's pretty complicated, but it seems to want to max out at 3 gold. We've done the Buenos Aires one wanted to do that. The Kabul one wanted to do that as well. So you're not getting an insane amount of extra gold out of this, but hey, if you've got 15 trade routes, obviously only 9 of mine are active right now, but if you've got 15 trade routes, and they're all making you 3 extra gold. That's 45 extra gold, which, depending on how late you are in the game, that can be quite a bit of money. Right now for me, you know, only half my trade routes are active, but that's it's a fourth of my income, so that's pretty damn good. I would say it's worth it building railroads in between all the cities you're trading with, and this leads back to what I was saying earlier in the video as well, about how you might want to build railroads in foreign-friendly territory that you're trading with, because it can increase the value of your trade routes. And what's more, say you wanted to betray Kabul later in the future, now you've got a railroad right to their capital. So it's a pretty useful thing to be able to build railroads into other people's territory. Like building a railroad from Pasargadae and Tushpa into Kutaisi could be incredibly useful for me to invade later, under the guise of friendship, of course, because she's pretty friendly with me right now. So we've done a lot of exploring about railroads today. We figured out some of their more secretive features, the ones that the Civ Wiki doesn't tell you entirely about. We've done some really good exploring today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. And if there's any other civilization content you guys want me to cover, feel free to mention it in the comment section below. And tell me what you think about this railroad thing. Are railroads worth building in great number? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section below. Alright, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.